He's an avid hockey fan, and believe it or not, the guy was a goaltender. So Rex, come on up.
All right. Is this thing on? Because it's getting ready to be on.
Rex Ryan, who was the former New York Jets head coach, took over a Bills team that hadn't been to the playoffs since 1999, who had a decent 9-7 record in 2014 and were led by a dominant defense with even more dominant defensive line with Kyle Williams, Super Mario Williams, Marcel Darius, and Jerry Hughes. How could he take this fringe wildcard team and push them into the playoffs? Well, by changing the defense to a 3-4 based defense. He also gathered an experienced NFL staff, nabbing run-based offensive coordinator Greg Roman and his former underling with the Jets, Dennis Thurman, to be the defensive coordinator. Skip to March 2015, where the Bills extended defensive end Jerry Hughes to a 5-year, $45 million deal, signed some random quarterback named Tyrod Taylor, and Tom Brady clone Matt Castle. But then, the Bills made a stunning move by trading for star running back LeSean McCoy and only having to lose promising linebacker Kiko Alonso. The Bills continued their signing spree, adding former star wide receiver Percy Harvin and underrated tight end Charles Clay. These three moves gave Bills fans optimism for an explosive and expansive offense after seeing a dull Kyle Orton-led offense for a whole year before. The Bills continued to add through the draft, getting cornerback Ronald Darby, guard John Miller, an unknown running back in Carlos Williams, and Jack Nicklaus's family member, Nick O'Leary. The story for most of Rex Ryan's first offseason was the quarterback competition for the Bills. It was between former first-round pick E.J. Manuel, former Ravens backup Tyrod Taylor, and former Patriot Matt Castle. The three of these battled for a couple months, and just before week 1, Tyrod Taylor was given the reins to the Bills' offense. Tyrod was given an offense with promising wide receivers such as Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, and Chris Hogan, a legit number 1 tight end Charles Clay, and star running back LeSean McCoy. Fans were hoping for an offensive improvement as well as sustained great play from the defense. All of these pieces would add up to a playoff team, right? Optimism brimming, hope building. There are high expectations in Buffalo for once. The first season under Rex Ryan was bound for greatness, right? Well, before I get to that result, let me not intrude impolitely and ask for you to subscribe. Enough for you? Yes? Okay. Now let's get to the results from the 2015 season. Did the Bills end the playoff drought? Nope. Did they improve upon last year's record and somehow miss the playoffs by pure luck in a stacked division? Nope. Were they ever really a playoff contender? Nope. They were eliminated in Week 15 and finished an inconsistent season with an 8-8 record. Did the offense get better? It got much better, only in the run game though. The passing game was non-existent. LeSean McCoy was as good as advertised, and rookie running back Carlos Williams couldn't stop scoring touchdowns. The passing game was non-existent under Tyrod Taylor. And even worse, the defense got much worse. I know, shocking. Changing up something that's working is going to make it worse. They lost the Bills games like the Patriots Week 2 game, the London game versus the Jags, and the critical Week 15 matchup against the then Washington Redskins. Okay, so the first season under Rex Ryan didn't go as planned, but don't worry. The Bills can only grow in year 2 of his stewardship. However, Ryan should start getting worried because the pressure is already on him to fulfill his promise of getting the Bills back to the promised land. The Bills would have to add in order to get there. So in came linebacker Lorenzo Alexander and controversial running back Reggie Bush in free agency. Shaq Lawson and Reggie Ragland and more came through the draft. There wouldn't be much turnover on the coaching staff over the offseason, except a certain someone's brother being added as an assistant head coach. Can you guess who this qualified sibling is? 5 seconds. 2 up, 1 0. Goodbye. It's Rob Ryan, the best assistant coach any one team can have. Why not have one Ryan brother when you can have both of them on your coaching staff? I know, revolutionary. Now, where was I? Yes, the Bills came into the 2016 season relatively unchanged, and the results were also relatively unchanged. The Bills started the season 0-2, giving up 50 points through those games. In a wise move, the Bills, who have a horrible defense, fired their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. Yes, they fired the OC despite the defense being the problem. He would be replaced by up-and-comer Anthony Lynn. Now, let's skip to Week 16. The Bills are 7-7 in overtime and are playing a playoff contender in the Miami Dolphins in Orchard Park. The stadium is packed because the fans knew a win and the playoff dream is still alive. A loss and the faint dream is dead. However, I don't believe Rex and Rob Ryan realized the importance of this game. It was in 1st and 10 for the Dolphins at their own 15-yard line, and in an act of utter disorganization, the Bills were unable to get 11 men onto the field, and Jay Ajayi ran down the right sideline and well into Bills territory. A couple plays later, and the Dolphins would win the game on a chip shot field goal. A dejected Rex Ryan ran out to midfield and shake the hand of the opposing Dolphins head coach and former Bills candidate, offensive guru Adam Gase. Now, why did Rex Ryan look so dejected? Because he knew that once he walked into the locker room and finished his post-game talk with the team and his press conference, his time as head coach of the Bills would be over. New owners Terry and Kim Pegula warned Ryan that if he were unable to reach the playoffs, his tenure would end in Buffalo. And well, they were right. After the game, Rex Ryan was fired by the Buffalo Bills, leaving the Bills in limbo with a 7-8 record and unsure of their future. He too would be unsure of his future.